Hello guys and welcome to Basic Value. So we're going to be talking about the iOS 26 on the 11 Pro Max. So as we all know, this is the oldest iPhone that iOS 26 will be supported on. Now, first off, I want to say that there's around 20 plus features that cannot be shown due to the age of the device because this doesn't have Apple Intelligence. So anyway, let's begin. Let's first talk about the liquid glass. So as you can see, I've already changed the theme of my iPhone. So in order to change the theme on your iPhone, just simply press edit on the top left corner of your screen, and then let's see how it actually fares. So you can actually go to default. It's gonna look like that. If you want to go dark, that's how it looks like. Clear, the one I chose, and tinted. So in tinted, you can actually change the colors simply doing this. This actually makes me feel like I'm having an Android phone, to be honest. So you can also change this setting right here. Sorry, my screen is not that sensitive. So that's pretty much with a liquid glass. Also, um, you would see some iPhones that in their lock screen, like they could change the clock. So in that's not possible in this iPhone, since the iPhone 11 doesn't have the the newer chip. So if I select customize and if I click on the clock, you can't actually change the style of the clock. So I'm gonna skip Apple Intelligence. Let's go to camera and photos. So let's see how it fares. Let me just press done right here. Okay. So let's see how did the camera change. So it's just the same with the newer iPhones. You can do this. You can still have the slow-mo time lapse. It's very clean for me. I like it because it's clean, it's minimalist. However, if you like to see all the options, it's gonna be here in the top right corner. You have the live, the flash, exposure, and all that stuff. And also, still, I think you don't have that function anymore wherein you can slide up to see these options. And then in video, you can change the quality. So that's for the camera. And in the photos, it didn't really change much. So let's see my photos right here. Let me just take a sec to check. So as you can see, the Photos app didn't change much. You can just see the glass here and this part right here. But again, there's no big changes. Also, you need to know that in iPhone 15 Plus, there are lens cleaning hints that would pop up if ever your lens is dirty. So next is phone and messages. So when it comes to your dialer, let's see. I'm just gonna be doing this for. Give me a moment right here. I'm just clearing my. So for privacy purposes, let me just do this. Clear all. Okay. So this is how it looks like. So your phone and your dialer looks like this already. If I don't know if you'd agree with me, but it didn't really change much too. It's like more of the shapes that's just gone round, and um it seems like everything has its own background, like in here it already has its own place, something like that. And also just gonna say that the assistive touch also has change in some way that I can't describe. So when it comes to messages, like there are functions like it filters unknown senders, and then it goes into a section called screened. So you can decorate conversations now with custom backgrounds. So let me show you that in a bit. Let me just search a conversation here. So in order for you to change the background on the conversations that you have, you just simply need to tap on the contact photo, and then it would be giving you something like this. So you can change the background to something like this or to something like in here. And I think you can even use photos. So basically, this is a really good customization option for me. I like customizing stuff on my phone. So next is CarPlay. However, I can't show CarPlay because obviously I'm not in the car right now. I'm in my room, and As what I've heard, like Apple redesigned it with the liquid glass. Also, it has more clearer zones and a new tab bar for apps. Now, when it comes to performance in battery, this is where it really gets a bit weird because before we begin on this section, I need to tell you that this iPhone has already got its whole screen replaced and also the battery. So basically, I'm using third-party OLED screen and a third-party battery. Now, on the I think first 3 days or first 2 days of this iOS 26, I was noticing a very obvious lag. Like the scrolling was really slow, and it just felt like the phone was really doing its best and pushing everything out just to keep the performance smooth and stuff. So now, as you can see, there's no more lag on the screen, and I've noticed the battery life on this device has gotten obviously longer compared to iOS 18. So I think this is something that's different with each person. So I cannot say that everyone who downloads iOS 26 on their 11 Pro Max would get longer battery life and also the lag. So this is a bit subjective for each one of us. Now, one thing that you also need to take note of is the storage requirement, because you need to prepare for iOS 26. Because as Tech Radar uh, says, iOS 26 can require around 6 to 12 gigabytes of free space to install. So it's quite big. So you need to make sure you have enough space. Now let's go to the pros and cons of this update. So for the first Pro, the major new features. So my iPhone 11 Pro Max gets actually a lot of iOS 26 improvements on the background, and it feels really new to the hand. So, also to give you a bit of context, this iPhone on iOS 18 felt old, and it felt like, the repairs that have been done to it, like I can feel it, but now it's not even obvious anymore. So I think that's all because of the updated UI and some new apps, like the new changes in the apps, and with features like call screening, the live translation that works in the iPhone 11 Pro Max, gives it like a new life or new chapter. Next is the refreshed look. I mean, it's fairly obvious. Like, it's very obvious in the home screen. I don't even have to say much of it. It's just really new. So for the battery that I've experienced, I love it because the battery runs longer now. And lastly, with enhanced communications, just like what I've showed you, you can add backgrounds to your conversations in the messaging app and also the phone features. So for the cons, first is the initial lag and the heat. So in the early days when I installed iOS 26 on this device, it was really laggy, and um, it started like it ran a bit warmer than usual. Also, if you're using an iPhone 11 Pro Max, you can't expect to enjoy all the features of iOS 26, since a lot of its features are also with, I mean, it comes with Apple Intelligence. So that's a bit unfortunate for me. Also, there are some downsides with the UI, the liquid glass, because some report that the liquid glass effects make text or icons a bit harder to read. I mean, it's even this clock right here, it's a bit hard to read in person. I mean, although it's very obvious right now, but it's just different with a normal design. So in order for you to go back to that, before I forget, you can actually go back to the original style of the clock. So you can just click on solid right here, then boom, you have the solid design for the clock. So you can change this one. Let's change it to something that's, so let's say change something like this. Okay, we're all done. So okay, and then um, there are also some reports that the liquid glass design um, causes eye strain and legibility issues. So I actually noticed that too, but it's not a big deal for me because this can be mitigated by turning on reduced transparency in accessibility, but it's an extra step. But if you're fine with that, then um, it's not much of a deal breaker, right? So also the new animations, while it's very pretty, it does some tax on the GPU of the phone. And in this iPhone 11 Pro Max, the frame rates are fine, but scrolling isn't as quite as snappy as before. But right now, at this moment, I'm not really um, I'm not really seeing a very big difference. So, lastly, for the bugs, I haven't observed a lot of bugs yet, but some users that I've known have seen glitches with iOS 26 on older devices, especially this one. There is usually a slight stutter or an occasional app that won't open, but we didn't encounter this one. And most probably there is an iOS 26.0.1 update coming soon to fix all of those stuff. But all in all, iOS 26 is awesome, but you got to be careful and you need to really do your own research before you install it on your iPhone. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out, and I hope you enjoy iOS 26 just as much as I do. This is Basic Value. We're going to be seeing you on the next one.